Do you have 6x6 paper with 3x4 journaling cards you need to use? Or maybe just a stack of 3x4 cards? Today's template is perfect for you. Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com, and I'm going to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get started. Today I have paper busting template number 36 for 6x6 paper. I originally shared this sketch as part of a 6x6 paper pad tutorial for a Christmas paper pad, which had 3x4 journaling cards. I like to give each of my templates their own dedicated video in case you don't like to watch those longer paper pad tutorials, and so you can see some different ideas for them. I'm going to take a piece of paper from the Photoplay Monterey Bay collection, and that has a 3x4 journaling card, and I'm going to use that for sketch A. But there's also a sketch B. And sketch B is for if you have 3x4 journaling cards that you don't particularly want to feature, you probably want to use the back side of them. If you don't want to use a paper with 3x4 journaling cards, because I'm actually not going to, I'm just going to use a standard piece of 6x6 paper, and it actually covers up. So it also works well if you want to just cover up a portion of the 3x4 journaling card, because maybe it has like a sentiment or something that you're not feeling. This is a template, very easy, but with 2 sketches. So I'll share a little bit more about that as I go through. As I mentioned, this is the Monterey Bay collection from Photoplay. And Monterey Bay is such a beautiful place, which is why I was drawn to this collection, because I'm not necessarily someone who likes a lot of nautical themes, but something about I like the way they incorporated teal into this collection. I was really drawn to it. And yeah, I don't know if anyone else has ever visited Monterey Bay, but beautiful place. So I chose red to be the backer for everything today, just to make things a little bit simpler. I like to do that when I'm making a bunch of cards, if I can, especially when I'm doing like a 6x6 paper pad tutorial. If I can pick one color of cardstock that coordinates well with all of the pattern papers, that's just going to save me a lot of time because I don't have to keep picking new cardstock each time. So that's sketch B. Sketch B shows you taking the 3x4 journaling card, and then there's a 3" by 2" strip that's left over, and you put that on a mat as well. I like to use 1/4" mats, and you just cover the bottom section of the journaling card, and then you're going to center that on a card. That gives you a lot of background. Not everyone's a fan of having that much white space in the background. A lot of people have mentioned that when there's a card that has more white space in the background, they like to emboss it. Not heat embossing. I guess it's called dry embossing, but like when you use an embossing folder. And I'm going to use the Hi, Hey, Hello from Photoplay Paper Say It With Stamps. I've used this one quite a few times, and I'm going to use it again because it's something that I like, and I want to show you guys that, you can use your supplies many, many times, especially when you get really basic supplies like that. And speaking of which, this is the Lawn Fawn Critters in the Sea stamp set, and I recently used it on a 12x12 tutorial where I used the whale. And now today I'm coloring the dolphin with some end markers. I'm just picking that the shadows will be mostly on the back of the dolphin, and then a couple of cast shadow areas and blending it out. This stamp set is from 2010, so over 10 years old. And that got me wondering, do you guys have any older stamp sets that you still find yourself returning to time after time? So many beautiful stamp sets are released by awesome companies, including Lawn Fawn, on the regular, some even monthly releases. And Lawn Fawn just had a big release recently, and I did pick up a few things, but there's just stamp sets that, no matter how old they get, I just keep finding myself drawn to them. These ones from Lawn Fawn are so easy to color, which is what really attracts me to Lawn Fawn. I like something that you can color simply without having to pick a bunch of colors at times. And then sometimes I like to do more elaborate Copic coloring. And if you ever want to see more of that, you can check out Instagram at jess.crafts, where I share a little bit more of my Copic coloring versus some of my pattern paper. Or on my YouTube channel, I focus a little bit more on my templates. So here is sketch A. Sketch A, technically there's one more cut. So I say to cut it to a 3x4 and then a 3x2. But with sketch A, you're going to want to stretch this 3x2 piece across so that it has a little bit poking out of the top and a little bit poking out of the bottom. So what I do is I still attach it to a 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. Hopefully I have those measurements right. I attach it to the larger mat and then I cut it in half. I believe on the sketch, I do give you also the measurements for if you wanted to cut it in half first and put it on 2 separate mats. It's kind of up to you. Because there's a gap left here, I am going to add a piece of cardstock so that everything lays nice and flat. And it's just a scrap of cardstock that, as you can see, I cut the high sentiment for the other card from. I really do try to use my scraps as soon as possible. And I do keep my colored scraps with my larger sheets of colored cardstock so that when I'm going back to them, like if I decide to use this red again, I can start with the scraps for my mats and then move on to a full sheet. But there's no pattern paper scraps ever created with my templates, and I try to share lots of ideas for any cardstock scraps that might be created. If you found this video inspiring, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.